When it comes to what your family eats and drinks, you know your choices matter. You're the expert because you know what fits your life. And getting it right starts with good information. That's why America's beverage companies are sharing more information about our ingredients at goodtoknowfacts.org. No spin, no judgments, just the facts straight from the experts for more than 140 beverage ingredients. Visit goodtoknowfacts.org.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the podcast of Determined Society. A lot of y'all are probably thinking, well, shit, it's about damn time. I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten and like, hey, man, when are you going to drop another episode? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? You know what? I'm sorry. You're right. Before we get to it, listen, guys, the only way I'm growing and bringing more listeners to this podcast is if you guys do your part, listen to it. If you find value, share it on your social platforms. Send a link to your friend. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Please. That's the only way this is going to grow. And the more people that are listening, of course, I'm going to have more of a responsibility in order to put more consistent content out with my podcast. So please share the fuck away. Today I want to talk about that voice. You know, that weak motherfucker in your head that tells you you can't do anything or you can't do X, Y, and Z. And listening, here's the deal. We all have those voices. There's not one successful male or female influencer, successful business owner, president of the United States, governors, whatever, astronauts that don't doubt themselves at some point. But we have to understand something about that. That should be our trigger to move in spite of those thoughts. Because if we move in spite of those thoughts, we improve. Right? For me, starting this podcast and the Determined Society and starting my infancy and, attempting to influence people to live a more determined and productive day and life. Man, that shit's scary, man. From the imposter syndrome to all these different thoughts flooded into my mind. And I'm just going to say it because I'm always going to be transparent with you guys. And I tell you guys that all the freaking time is, who's going to want to listen to me? Man, I know many people back in California that know the old Shawn, right? That they don't know a damn thing about me now. And that's okay. That's my fault, right? I was young and dumb. I blew up relationships. No big deal, right? You move on. Some of those relationships have circled back around and we have some back and forth on DM and things like that. And we understand each other and they're seeing my growth. But the point is the fear and that voice inside my head says, no one's going to give a shit what you say. Who are you? Well, Andy Frisella said one time, and I've said this before, everybody was nobody until they were somebody. So why not me, right? Why not me? Just because it's small scale now doesn't mean it's going to be small scale 5-10 years down the road. So here we go. You got to think of the one thing that you want more than anything. I don't care if it's fitness, financial, spiritual, relationship, whatever it is. Think about that one thing you want mostly. Not mostly. The one thing you want most. I don't edit things here, guys. Sorry. I'm not big enough yet. I don't have all this fancy technical equipment. I just roll. All right. So deal with it until you don't have to, right? Because eventually one day it'll be high production value. But for right now, this is where we're at. Deal with it. So think of that one thing you want most in your life. Think of how exciting it's going to be when you get there. You got to think about all the work and all the blood and sweat and tears that you have to go through in order to achieve that goal or those goals. To be your highest self, you're going to go through some pain. You're going to get kicked in the nuts and you're going to have to get right back up and keep going again. And I'm not talking about tomorrow get back up. I'm talking about like you get knocked down, the next second you're back up. No standing 8 count or whatever the hell it's called. You're back up and you're fighting. So think about all those positive emotions that you get when thinking about, being who you want to be, being authentic, but leveling up on yourself so big that you look at yourself and you go, damn, what just happened? But I want you to understand something. There's some other thoughts that come along with that too. And those are the self-limiting thoughts. Well, people are going to judge me for saying this. They're not going to understand it. They're going to think it's stupid, yada, yada, yada. Who cares? You're not living your life for other people, meaning you want to help other people. But the only way you're going to help other people is if you put your imperfect shit out there and people see it and then they relate to it and go, you know what? I get Shawn. I understand him. So you know what? It's going to give me the courage to go out there and do just what he's doing. I'm not going to worry about if my Instagram post sucks. I'm not going to worry about my podcast sucks. I'm not going to worry about any of that. I'm just going to go do, because I know eventually what I want is on the other side of those limiting beliefs and that fear. And you have to look at where that fear and when those limiting beliefs come from. Man, it comes from childhood, adolescence. It comes from people that you love, people that are just trying to give you good advice. Hey, what's your backup plan? Because, you might not be a Major League Baseball player. Well, first of all, that's shitty advice. And just because they're your parents or they're your family members or they're your best friends doesn't mean they're giving you good advice. All it means is they're giving you their perspective through their paradigm, their lens in which they see the world. So you have to understand that and know it's nothing about you. I digress. There's a lot of things that you're going to go through when you're looking to achieve your goals. I don't care if it's a body fat goal, whatever it is. I'm going through that shit right now. The amount of limiting beliefs that I have in my head because of my past and the things I chose to believe and own about myself, I fight every single day, right? So it was on me to subscribe to that shit, but it's also up to me to unsubscribe. And that's what I'm doing every day. That's why you guys see me doing 75 hard again. You see me doing all these things, this personal development, this influencing type deal, because this is for me and you. This just isn't me trying to get out there. This is me, these are my struggles. And you're going to see my wins too. You're going to see my family. You're going to see the LSU football stuff, right? You're going to see my dogs every now and again. You're probably going to see my wife get in a dog crate. Guys, if you've seen those reels, God bless you. She's funny as hell. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's smart. But on the weekend, she takes dogs with naps inside their cage. Anyway, there's my humor. Sorry, baby. You have to acknowledge that weak person inside your own mind. You have to acknowledge that they're there, and you cannot push him or her away. You have to move in spite of that. For instance, last night, long night, still have an outdoor workout in my reading to do after my baseball game that I coached. It's a passion of mine. That's my zen. Okay? I get home around 8:45 p.m. I still got to do a 45-minute outdoor workout. Now, it's not late, right? By any stretch of the imagination, but I still need to eat my dinner. I still need to read. I still need to shower. And I want to spend some time with my wife. So all these limiting thoughts go through my mind. Yeah, man, that's stupid. Don't do it. Just do a walk. Just do this, do that. I go through those things. I am not telling you it's abnormal to think of in your mind, the subconscious go, just take the easy way out. What the issue is when you take the easy way out. That's the issue. So when I heard myself say, hey, just do a walk, it'll be fine. You do a fast walk. Maybe throw on a weight vest. So I said to myself, all right, cool, that's what you want to do, but that ain't going to be what you're going to do. You're going to overcome these thoughts in your mind, these limiting beliefs, and you're going to fucking run. Right? And you're going to run further than you did yesterday. And only thing that you're going to focus on is one foot in front of the other. Nothing else matters but the next step. And guys, that's pretty much my final point here in this quick little podcast is one foot after the other. It's one step at a time. You cannot win tomorrow unless you win today. And what I mean by that is you have to deal with what's in front of you. Your job every single day is to win that day, to make great decisions and put it into that positive piggy bank of you growing as a person, professional, father, wife, mother, whatever, right? That's the goal. So, ladies and gentlemen, that weak person inside your head is real. And he or she was put there by advice you listened to, or just plain you not loving yourself enough to do anything about it. And hi, I'm raising my hand guilty as charged on that last statement. I'm not pointing at you. I'm pointing at me. The decisions that I made from the time I was 30 years old all the way up until I was 40. The yo-yo dieting, the getting fat and getting skinny, thinking I need to cut out carbs in order to lose weight. By the way, that's bullshit, and that's another podcast, okay? I'm not even going to get into that right now. We can do that, but not right now. So all these limiting beliefs, that is what you wake up with every single day when you're on fire. And the moment you decide to gain courage and attack those dreams, that inner voice comes and said, no, you can't. It says, no, you can't. But what about this? Well, what if this happens? To hell with that shit, y'all. To hell with it. You fight that inner voice every step, every movement, until to a point where you have that goal and now you level up. You probably level up before you get to that goal because you realize, well, shit, if I get there, that means I'm done. We gotta expand our horizons so we keep chasing ourselves. Because again, I've always said, my hero, I have a lot of heroes, but my true hero is me 10 years from now. And every single day, I chase that guy. I didn't come up with that. That was a Matthew McConaughey thing, so don't think I'm ripping somebody off here. I know where it came from, okay? But it's the truth. So, before you give into that voice saying you can't do something, listen to this podcast again and just know that you can, because your actions are going to speak louder than the things you say or are being said to you inside your own mind. Go out there today, guys, attack the day, win it, do whatever you got to do to stay focused and keep pushing yourself forward, because you know what? You're fucking worth it.